I come. I am Jesus. I wish to talk of the experience of life that most have in this world, that indeed for many, their path for life is a meandering one that is not truly focused, one that is filled with unexpected events and outcomes. Unfortunately, most upon your world feel that they have no control over the events of their lives. Rather, they respond and react to whatever is happening for the moment and make their decisions and choices in accordance to this event. Of course, your culture, your educational institutions and other institutions that are important to society, lay out a framework, a paradigm of expectations and possibilities for the individual. Most often, the individual falls into alignment with this and takes great comfort in their place in society. Others are rebellious and stretch the limits of the tolerance of their society. It was always thus in this world of yours. Those who are compliant and those who wish to see change or do not feel comfortable within the usual ideas and expectations that come with life. How unfortunate it is that so many comply with these expectations without much thought or desire for something beyond it. They have accepted and adopted the present form of reality that humanity has created through their thoughts and creations in the material world. They do not know anything different and therefore, they come to rely upon what they see as reality, and what they see are the expectations upon them. These expectations are laid upon the child at the very beginning of its existence. Your institutions, your families and other forces ensure that that child is indoctrinated into these ideas and expectations. So, it is understandable that the vast majority adopt the synthetic reality that man has created in the world. This reality that is predicated upon certain ideas, thoughts, and expectations that reflect outcomes in the journey of life and the expressions of life which are harmonious with societal expectations and goals. Few see beyond this. Few are motivated to see beyond these somewhat superficial ideas. Those who venture too far from its limitations are frowned upon and often bullied and brutalized by those who are within these parameters. They feel that they are a stranger within a strange land because there is something within them that cannot comply. Their nature and their personalities, their feelings, and their thoughts often contradict that of what is considered normal in your societies. Those who dwell on the outskirts of common social behavior may be so because of malfunctions of the brain and the body, emotional deprivation, and alienation. Often the mind is distorted and unable to find its place in the common flow of consciousness of the earthly plane. There are indeed many reasons why these outliers of society exist. Because of human nature, there is great judgment, almost repulsion toward those who are different. Love is not the predominant expression of the human race. Unfortunately, fear is predominant. The mind is predominant. Those higher expressions of the emotions and the deeper emotions of the soul are buried within in order to feel safe and to comply with what is expected of them. An image of the strong man, independent, resourceful, intelligent, has also influenced women in the same way, thus creating a culture that reveres independence, reveres the individual who is confident and strong and knows his thoughts and ideas clearly. Whether those thoughts and ideas are of error or not, they are revered because of the delivery and expression of these things through the individual. They walk with their heads upright, their bodies reflecting power, strength and confidence. Those who are weak in these characteristics often fear these individuals, as well as have a great desire to mimic them and be like them. So, the strong dominate the weak. Those who have understood the ways toward power, financial, political, intellectual, are ensuring that the present modes of thinking and paradigms of behavior are reinforced and upheld. These individuals become the role models for society. Many of them are donning a created personality, something that they have cultivated utilizing their understanding of the laws that govern human behavior, laws that have been created by humanity. Your world continues to suffer because love is lost, and the desire for power and control is predominant. These distorted priorities are causing great damage to your world and to one another. There is no sense of inclusion unless the individual toes the line of expectations. Those who are on the outside often suffer in many ways, including materially, thus creating powerful feelings of being unloved and not belonging. Their sense of alienation is often intense, and because of the standards presented, they often feel like they cannot match those standards nor sustain them. Yet, there is a certain strength to those who do not comply. There is a capacity to think outside of the normal parameters and to be creative in their expressions and way of life. This difference creates other possibilities in their life. They are willing to take risks. They are often more curious about that which is not of the norm. Many are vulnerable to negative forces because of their lack of self-love and their feelings of anger of being unrecognized in the world. Unfortunately, many of these individuals take roads in your world that are destructive or counterproductive towards their own spiritual well-being and light. There are some who utilize the gift that is given, this sense of awkwardness and feelings of not belonging, creating for themselves a different reality from that which is common. Many of these individuals seek spiritually. Many of them have adopted various ideas and perceptions of spirituality that are unusual and often contradict the standard perceptions of what spirituality is. As you well know, in the flow of God's creation, there is natural selection and evolution. Those who are different have the possibility of changing the course of humanity if they are successful in accomplishing true and creative perspectives that challenge the norm. They can be the forerunners for the next step that humanity must take. There are many more than you might think. Although many choose the way of darkness, there are many who choose light. There are many who are aware, have woken from the slumbers that are so common in your world, and they have found their way into something that is of light. They have come to know those deeper parts of themselves that yearns for light. Though often, their ideas and mindful considerations are beyond the pale and challenge your reality, they are contributing to the shifting conditions and energies of your world. They are helping to open a door for humanity so that they may see the alternatives and opportunities that come with shifts of thought, feeling, and perception. In many ways, those of you who are upon this divine path have chosen something that is beyond the standard ideas of Christian thinking. Although, along with this, many of you are well within the parameters of social expectation. Many of you keep quiet in regard to sharing this truth for fear of rejection, for fear of being called out in this difference of perspective. Within you is the fear of rejection. Yet, within you is the challenge to go beyond your desires and need to be accepted and loved by engaging in common social discourse. This has always been the challenge of those who are taking a path less followed. It can be lonely for those who have dedicated themselves in this way. There is heartbreak for those who are lonely. There is great concern and often self-flagellation, for though they are compelled to that road that is different, they have regrets and concerns for their well-being. Many desire the joys of social discourse, friendship, and connection in society. God does not deny you these pleasures. But often, in engaging in this way, the error that is so prevalent in society is part of your conversations and is reinforced in your dialogues and connection to the world. Thus, there is a great schism within you and within many as you weave your way through those barriers to God, to love, to light, to harmony, and to truth. Often, one feels compromised as they try to fit into the social norms. For many of you, having distance in this regard is more desirable than to be within the main flow of society. Indeed, as you progress in divine love, so the differences will become more apparent. Changes in thoughts, attitudes, and priorities will shift in accordance to the transformation of your soul. So you can expect to not feel completely comfortable or at ease in the human condition, for the human condition often contradicts the condition and light that is growing within your soul. There is much to contend with as you make this journey through life. There are many decisions that must be made, many responses that must be expressed or not in accordance to the environment that you are in and the people that you are with. At times, it is wise to be quiet and to let go of your judgments toward another, having compassion and love toward your brothers and sisters. At times, it is important to speak up and express the truth as you know it and see it and to challenge those conditions that are unloving in the world. Your world is a very complex place, filled with many pitfalls and challenges. Indeed, without true soul perception and discernment and with the predominance of love expressed through you in every moment, it is a challenging and difficult environment to truly be in harmony with God's laws. The world of man challenges God. It challenges all that God has created and all that God is. This challenge is not one that is well understood or conscious to the individual, those who are well within the framework of society. Rather, it is the result of the implementation of many thoughts and motivations put within the individual from the beginning of their lives. You must have great compassion for those who cannot see beyond these conditions and implemented standards and ideas of what is valued in life. Yet, for those who are firmly upon the divine path and wish to walk this path as best they can, in great harmony with God's laws, every twist and turn, every day presents its challenges because you cannot live as an island in the world. Whether you are consciously aware or not, you live with your brothers and sisters and within the currents and conditions that are created collectively by all. Prayer is the great antidote to these dilemmas. Continuing to grow within your soul in love, continuing to walk in light, putting aside your judgments, your fears, your confusion, rather, walking in faith, being strong in faith, and kind and generous in your actions and deeds upon the world. Be that living example that has within it a measure of humility and grace that is palpable and is often recognized by those around you. This is the great teacher. This is the most powerful lesson that you can give to your brothers and sisters, to truly be who you are in the world without great fanfare and desire for recognition, rather, humility and grace, simplicity and love, comforting your brothers and sisters, uplifting them and being a light. These things I know I have spoken of, and many angels have spoken of, over the years as we continue to communicate with you on earth. It is truth and it is important to recognize these things. Many of you in your earnestness wish to challenge authority, wish to go against societal norms, wish to pull others toward that which you believe is true and important, and at their core, these things are well meant and well placed, but often, because of your humanness, you tend to bully others or insist upon certain ideas and concepts. Part of you wishes to believe that with force, you can make a difference, with acting with impunity and well-intention that you will contribute to changing the world. Unfortunately, many of these attitudes and expressions tend to alienate others rather than bring them close. Since most in your world are fearful of attacks and rejection and all those negative and dark aspects of human behavior, if you display these things toward another, they will respond by protecting themselves and closing their minds to you. Humility is so important, beloveds. Knowing that this work is God's work, and that God has a plan and God will guide each individual accordingly. There is no need to force this plan or to enforce what you believe is the plan. Rather, what is important is that in prayer and quietness and listening that you will receive your guidance. In accepting this guidance and integrating it in the fullness and wisdom of your soul, the way forward to enact it will become evident and often easy to accomplish. God does not force you to bend until you break, beloveds. But God will test and challenge you at times to see if you may make those choices toward light, and if you do not, providing you with an opportunity to assess and understand why you made a choice that is not of light. Wisdom is needed. It is so important to access the wisdom of your soul. This wisdom is becoming alive and present within you. It is often that part of you that hesitates when you are compelled to do something that is lacking in finesse and love. Reactivity often brings negativity because often when one engages in this world of yours, you react from that place of the human condition rather than that place of the soul with its wisdom and love. Judgments abound within the minds of those who are well entrenched in the human condition. I encourage you to be aware of those judgments that you carry. Often, they come unbidden and flow exceedingly within a mind that is undisciplined. Be self-aware, beloveds. Know those parts of yourself so that you may make your choices toward light, that you may have a sense of empowerment and control over yourself, not in the way of the mind dictating your actions and your thoughts, but in the way of your soul drawing you into the peace that is your soul. In this peace, comes the thoughts, visions, and ideas that are of God. Every moment is a struggle for those of you on the earthly plane. Every day brings its challenges. God encourages you to engage in life, to truly be His channels within the world. You are challenged by the humanness, conditions of a mind that has been highly influenced by your culture and those around you. Thus, the struggle is great. The challenge is daily and often fills you with a sense of inadequacy. I know that many of you tire with these challenges and wish to be liberated from the human condition so you are not so challenged. As you grow in the Father's love, so this liberation is slowly being realized and will be truly awakened within you. But for now, the tug of war back and forth between mind and soul continues to be your lot. With great faith and efforts in prayer and loving actions and choices, you are doing what is required to help establish this condition that is the liberation of your soul. Yes, many meander in life unaware of its purpose, unaware of God's intention for each individual as the mind accumulates more and more experience and information, assessing the world accordingly and forming the choices for the moment and what is to come. When you are within your soul, the perceptions of the world, your priorities and understandings of your life change accordingly. Life no longer takes the meandering path. Rather, with your choices and efforts, you are taking a more direct route in your life and have found great meaning and purpose to it. Be true to this, beloveds, for you are truly the harbingers of what is to come and what may be accomplished in human life. You cannot go back, for once this process is entrenched within you, how can you be content with engaging in the human condition as you once did and who you once were? You are changing and responding to the power of God's love transforming your soul. You must come to realize that it has a price, that within the human condition, you are no longer a participant that is consciously engaging within it. Though you dance back and forth between the way and reality of God and the way and reality of man, you are more often with God than within this old paradigm. In this way, you will feel somewhat detached from that which is so common in belief and action in your world. This detachment will grow. When I say detachment, I do not mean that you are without love and compassion for your brothers and sisters. Rather, the desire to engage in the error is less and in time, disappears altogether. As you move in the world seeing so much that is of error, because your soul is strong in love, your perceptions are keen, and your humility is great, you may still engage with your brothers and sisters, but in a way that engenders love and truth. You must come to see yourselves as God's instruments, truly in alignment with His will. Those of you who are strong enough will do so. You have already made the choice to step outside the common expectations and thoughts of man and to seek that which is of God. That first step is the most difficult one of all. From there it is a road that is traveled with expectation, joy, inquiry, and curiosity, a desire to truly know God and to truly know yourselves. These things come as the yearnings of your soul are made known to your conscious self. These things come because you act upon those yearnings. These things come because God is responding to your desires and yearnings. You are beginning to not accept the ways of the world, to step beyond them to something higher and in greater harmony. Yes, there is a price to pay, but the rewards are great and the need is great for one such as yourself, who is willing to walk a different road and to be a different man or woman in the world. You have been given great opportunities and blessings to do so. You have great upliftment and reinforcement as all the angels, bright spirits and stellar friends, and God continue to uphold you, continue to assist you in your own awakening, that which will transform everything, because the power of God's love is the greatest and most powerful transformation agent in the universe. You have subscribed to this blessing, this awakening. So it shall come. So you will see yourself with different eyes and you will view the world from a different perspective. Your mind will acquiesce and embrace this difference in time. You will find that there will be harmony within you, a peace, a deep wisdom, a knowing, a joy that is a reflection of love, growing within your soul, encompassing all that you are. God is ever waiting for you to make those efforts to reach out in prayer, in longing and desire. The world may have its suspicions of you and may even reject you, but as you make this powerful statement of truth by living your life in accordance with it, they cannot but notice that you are different. Within some corner of their consciousness, there is a curiosity. Within their soul, there is a longing to be as you are. Do not empower the deceit of the mind that is a reflection of the human condition. Rather, come to have compassion and wisdom in your knowing and perceiving of this part of you and part that is all around you. How it has gone astray, how it has created its own reality and chosen something that is not in harmony with God in many respects. Seek the freedom of the soul and the integration of the soul and the mind, making one mind that is in harmony with God's laws, that fulfills God's intention, for the realization of what He has created, that expression through you and all, in accordance to His plan and design for humanity. It is for you to walk in harmony with God. As you do so more fully with each day, you will know the joy of it, the wonderment and the grace. It comes to you, infilling you with beautiful blessings and gifts. So it shall continue to flow and you will continue to walk ever more on a direct path to God. May God bless you on that journey, my friends, and keep you within His protection and love and light. It shall be yours provided you desire this. It shall be yours because you have made that choice and continue to exert the laws in your favor. May God bless you, beloveds. I am your brother and friend, Jesus. I have great love for you and for humanity. We all work together to help God bring the great transformation of mankind, the transformation that must come, and will come. We are together in fulfilling God's will, and desire for such manifestation and blessing in the world. God bless you, beloveds. I am Jesus and I love you. God bless you.